Oh, sorry, I don't want to get copyright strike for us here, but yes, Kehuy Quan is back officially in his first real leading role in too many years that have passed since that should have been a thing. And he is returning in an action love story. Say, oh, it's just another John Wicky type movie. John Wick, Nobody, all these films of the retired assassin coming out of coming back into the fold of things, and of course that does make sense in a lot of ways. But in the same breath, I feel this one doesn't hang on to that notion as much as the other films. It's just using it as the plot device. The issue with Love Hurts ultimately is that who cares? That it has no weight, and then the action is fine, but it doesn't feel like it's anything to elevate it above being anything more than like I think a lot of people are saying this is a bad movie, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad movie. I just think it's a movie that doesn't need to exist, or if you're gonna watch it, it's much more I'm kind of laying back at home, having in the background, kind of watching it. I think performance-wise, I think a lot of people do a good job. I mean, of course, Key's always great, and I love the fact there is this small little there's one of the few well hidden, not even hidden, it's right in your face, but one of the small little metaphorical pieces of somebody drawing mustaches on his real estate pictures all over, and how that plays into how it's done. I think is a smart thing, and it was a nice thing. It's one of the things probably the movie did the most, but I always do love seeing he I went into the film knowing Ariana DeBose was in it and that she's one of the leads, and I will fully admit though that like after the end of the movie, I'm like, oh, that's right, that was Aaron. I'm like, I had no. Oh my God. So there are things that you can grab from this that will move you in a lot of ways. There's another assassin by the name of Raven who's a lovelorn poet, and he falls in love technically with Key's assistant, and that whole side story is kind of funny and fun. But again, it's just part of another cobbled together side story of all these strange, not because they're not even love affairs. A lot of them are just misrepresented, but it just, feels awkward and off in a lot of times, especially when there are random things they decide to do that didn't need to be there. Like there's no need, I'm sorry, even if it's a funny joke, and it wasn't funny necessarily, is to have Marshawn Lynch at one point yell beast mode as he's running Kehuyquan through a wall. Unnecessary. They shouldn't have done it. We all know that Marshawn Lynch is capable of doing the job, as an actor in general. So no need to now pull back these references to him being a football player at one point, or just his persona as a football player, American football player, for those who didn't know. um, but yeah, it's love hurts. Unfortunately, hurts a lot more. And I'm sure that I don't know how many people have said that already, but it does hurt a lot more than it feels nice and feels loving. So I wish I could give it a great grade. And again, I'm not saying a bad movie. I'm just saying a doesn't need to exist movie, if you know what I mean. So with that, it's a C minus. So thank you all for joining us, and then until next time, have a great one.